So David Frum was on the Morning Joe show, and he was asked a question about Pete Hegseth. Now, Pete Hegseth is the guy who works on the weekend at Fox, or at least he did. His coworker says he comes to work drunk. His mom comes out against him and saying that he's this bad person for women. He's a womanizer and just not a good person. I heard she recanted it back. I don't understand that at all, but supposedly she said this a while back ago and he's changed, but not according to his coworkers. So that's a lot of conflicting information, right? But anyway, David Frum said this about Pete Hegseth.
What's your sense of where the Hegseth pick is headed here?
Well, just given what one sees on camera, if you're too drunk for Fox News, you're very, very drunk indeed. So that's alarming. In 1989, President George H.W. Bush nominated John Tower, senator from Texas, for Secretary of Defense. Now, Tower was a very considerable person, a real defense intellectual, someone who deeply understood defense, unlike the current nominee. And it emerged that Tower had a drinking problem. And when he was drinking too much, he would make himself a nuisance or worse to the women around him. And for that reason, his nomination collapsed in 1989. You don't want to think that our moral standards have declined so much that you could say, let's take all the drinking, all the sex pesting, subtract any knowledge of defense, subtract any leadership, and there's your next Secretary of Defense for the 21st century.
Now, what did he say that was wrong? He gave you a story about a long time ago, someone was actually nominated by George Bush and didn't get the position because he was an alcoholic and he treated women differently, basically a womanizer, once he got drunk. These are the same situations they say about Pete Hegseth. And what is a far stretch to what he said about if you're too drunk for Fox? You do understand that Roger Ailes literally said this in 1992. By 1992, Roger Ailes had retired from politics and soured on the news media. As he told Charlie Rose then, and this is a quote, "If you want to have tremendous political influence and still be a womanizer, a drug abuser, or an alcoholic, you only have one choice of career, and that's journalism." Roger Ailes would go on 4 years later to found and become the CEO of the Fox News Channel. This is the same man that had no problem with Bill O'Reilly harassing women and being drunk on the job. He had no problem with Tucker Carlson lying like tremendously, making crap up, going through a bunch of lawsuits until he got to 787 million where he let him go. He had no problem. I don't know if he was around when Pete Hegseth came around, but that culture has been around there, that he was accepted there, and his employees knew he came to work drunk, but he wasn't fired. On top of that, he cheated on his wife with a coworker, and this right here is a good idea. All of these men, including Roger Ailes, were accused of being womanizers or abusing women to some degree. It's amazing how people literally tell you who they are, and in this country, so what? And then this is what happened, according to David Frum, in the Atlantic article that he wrote after he had said that on Morning Joe. The title of this article is "The Sound of Fear on Air." At the next ad break, a producer spoke into my ear. He objected to my comments about Fox and warned me not to repeat them. I said something non-committal and got another round of warning. After the break, I was asked a follow-up question on a different topic about President Joe Biden's pardon of his son. I did not revert to the earlier discussion, not because I had been warned, but because I had said my piece. I was then told that I was excused from the studio chair. Shortly after, co-host Mika Brzezinski read an apology for my remarks.
Before we go to break, a little bit earlier in this block, there was a comment made about Fox News in our coverage about Pete Hegseth and the growing number of allegations about his behavior over the years and possible addiction to alcohol or issues with alcohol. The comment was a little too flippant for this moment that we're in. We just want to make that comment as well. We want to make that clear. We have differences in coverage with Fox News, and that's a good debate that we should have often. But right now, I just want to say there's a lot of good people that work at Fox News who care about Pete Hegseth, and we'll want to leave it at that.
So she gives an apology, and later her husband, Joe, tries to tell us that right there wasn't an apology.
Mika said after, the comment was a little too flippant for the moment we're in. We disagree with Fox News, but there's some good people over there, including, of course, those talking to NBC News about their concerns. This got turned into a column and a headline that said that, well, let's see, what was the headline? The sound of fear. No, that wasn't the sound of fear. That was the sound of civility. And saying that Mika had apologized. Mika didn't apologize.
No.
He reads it out loud and says, that's not an apology. Then what is it? And why was he kicked off the show after he said it? And why did the producer get in his ear and told him that he can't say anything like that again? Not once, but twice. And you guys are acting like he wasn't treated like this. The guy that you say you know and trust, he wasn't treated like this. Joe and Mika, you may not have done that to him, but based upon that producer or whomever, you apologize for something that didn't need an apology. He told the truth. Roger Ailes was over there drinking and attacking Gretchen Carlson and other women too, but Gretchen Carlson's the one who got him. Bill O'Reilly, same. Many employees that worked for him that were women said that he was a womanizer, came to work drunk. Pete Hegseth, his employers literally said he comes to work drunk and he cheated on his wife with a co-worker. Right? Great choices these people make. So all of them did their things, even Tucker Carlson, and none of them got fired for their first offense or second or third. They did multiple offenses and finally had to be let go. Tucker Carlson, after $787 million. You know how many people get fired for coming to work late? This man did all this crap, lied, treated people like crap. $787 million was the time they said, that's too far. Bill O'Reilly, millions of dollars came out of Roger Ailes' pocket for having this guy here at Fox, being a leader. And this dude came to work drunk and treated women like crap and actually got sued for being a harasser of women. And you're sitting there, oh, there's good people at Fox. Nobody's talking about what people who aren't good or whatever. What is going on right now? A guy who has trouble with alcohol, alcoholic, his employers, his co-workers say so. And you're over here at MSNBC giving him like the benefit of the doubt. They would never give you guys the benefit of the doubt. When you guys got in the situation that you got in, over at Fox, they were reaming you guys. They didn't give you any benefit of the doubt. They were loving the fact of you guys getting wasted over this. And you guys come back and say, Kumbaya. Again, Fox has fighters for lies. We need fighters for truth. And you guys aren't fighters. You literally aren't. Fighters fight. If this is what you call fighting, we don't want it. We want people who are going to get in the faces of liars and tell them these are lies you are spreading. Not opinions, lies. She went on to say that we have difference in opinion of how to do news, basically. And I'm like, hold on. The truth is the truth. The facts are the facts. We want people who are going to give us the facts, and you can give us the opinions all you want of the facts, but make them based in fact. Fox won't even put facts on. They put alternative facts on. And you guys are saying we have a different way. This is the problem, see? You guys are friends with them. You guys go out and drink with them. You go out and hang out with these Fox people. And Americans are like, look, it's us versus them. It's facts versus fiction. We can't keep this country going in a situation where we're trying to move forward when you got a whole core group of people at Fox that get more viewers than all of you people combined. And you're sitting here like thinking like, they got the best news. So let's not talk bad about them. So powerful that you guys are even afraid to say anything about Fox. I'm like, dude, why would we watch you? You can't say anything critical about Fox. And it ain't even you that said it. David Frum said it. And he's standing 10 toes down on it. Wrote an article, even if he loses his job with you guys, he's standing 10 toes down on facts. And you guys wishy-washy. We respect David Frum. We don't respect you. You're literally giving Fox the benefit of the doubt. These people come up with some of the most craziest, most idiotic things. The things they say are conspiracy theories with no facts. They have ruined journalism. And you guys want to sit here and act like it's just another day. That's why people have problems with y'all. I'm pretty sure there's more, but that's one reason, one core reason why they can't stand you anymore. Because you guys can't even see real journalism when it's in your face. David Frum is giving it to you. And you're sitting here like, what was that? That was somebody fighting power, telling truth to power. That's what that was. You may not recognize it because you went and catered to this little orange cretin. Journalism is what that was. Now, I know you guys may not recognize it. Mika should because she's an actual journalist. Joe is not. And now that people are seeing that your opinions are jaded based off of your fear of Donald Trump, and you say it's not fear, then why haven't you called Donald Trump a fascist after you've talked to him? Why haven't you continued to say this man is not good for America? Why haven't you allowed people on your show to say things that are true or flippant when you're like a bastion for what? The First Amendment, right? We believe in the First Amendment. That's what the news is all about. And you won't allow a news person or at least a writer for news, you won't allow him to say what he says about truth to power, about being afraid of Donald Trump, about being able to tell what Fox News is. It's a propaganda channel. You won't allow them to say that? That right there is censorship. And it wasn't even bad. It was funny, but not flippant. But you made it into a negative when your people are tired of listening to journalists not fight for journalism. You have allowed this propaganda, this Fox network and these OANs and all these different places that have popped up from like destroying journalism. You're not in this fight to fight back. You're in this fight for a kumbaya moment. And I don't understand something. The people who are destroying journalism, you're trying to have a meeting of the minds with. It's not the ones who are trying to fight for journalism. You're literally telling them to be kind to the people who are literally destroying it. There's some good people on both sides, I guess, huh? It's insane. Mika and Joe, your show is tanking because you are not journalists. Mika used to be. But hanging alongside Joe, you've destroyed every ounce of credit you have as a journalist. And I'm not a journalist, even though I went to school for journalism, film, and television, even though I've been the president in college of journalism organizations. I've worked for news for over 20 years of my life. I still don't consider myself a journalist because those people are on the front lines asking the questions that need to be asked. And you guys are somewhere on your knees capitulating to those in power while pretending that you're fighting. And you can't let a person on your show literally say, if it's too much to be drinking at Fox, that's a lot of drinking. That's a bridge too far. They literally have lied on President Joe Biden a shit ton of times. Said that he was a pedophile because he kissed his own grandchildren on the head at the funeral of their father and his son. And you literally had to say I'm sorry for somebody saying, if you're too drunk to work at Fox, that's really drunk. That's too much. Do you not see the stupidity in your thought process? I'm willing to say you don't. You guys are going to keep on ranting and saying, we're right, we're right, we're right. When it gets down to 0 viewers, you're going to be talking to nobody. When it gets down, when you're old and senile, you're going to be sitting in an old folks' home talking to a TV that's turned off and telling it that you were right. It would be delusional then as it's delusional now. That's my opinion on the topic of Joe and Mika, who can't seem to dig themselves out of their own asses. You may agree, you may disagree. Tell me in the comments section. Love to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. And that's all I have for now. Until next time, take care.